Medicare Cafe. My friends at the Medicare Cafe. I say this almost every single episode. I love the chaos that happens in this room leading up to us going live, and it never fails. And for one of these days, maybe one of these days we'll do like a live. We used to do like live Medicare Cafes where we did them in front of audiences.
Oh,
back in the day.
Oh, I don't.
Probably not.
Yeah.
They're just not here.
They're just not here. But a live studio audience, I should say. Back in the day, we used to do live. Our producer, Alex, does not count. No. But we used to do live studio audience Medicare Cafes. And we're not going to bring those back anytime soon, I fear, for obvious reasons. Yeah. Welcome to the Medicare Cafe. You are joined by your hosts. My name's Olivia Richardson.
And I'm Clayton Clemens.
We're super excited. This chair is not going to survive my weight. So before we get started, we are kicking off. We're actually kicking off, and then we're going to take a week break because next week is Medicarians. I'll get to that. But we're getting ready to kick off our cross-selling symposium. We have been doing the cross-selling symposium in one way or another since 2018, I believe. Yeah. So 10 years of Medicare Cafe. We are celebrating our 10th year of production. We are the industry's longest standing podcast, which I'm so excited about. So make sure you're celebrating 10 years with us. But we are also celebrating, again, this is our 8th year of doing the cross-selling symposium. So what is the cross-selling symposium? Each day that we're doing a cafe, we are taking a different product and kind of covering the what, why, and how around selling them. Galen Hendricks, Queen of the Bundle, says it best. These are not ancillary products. They are necessary products and need to be treated as such. But this is kind of your extra kick in the butt to say, like, if you're not cross-selling, why are you not? This is something that you can watch to maybe give you a little bit more motivation to do so, or give you the tools and resources that you need.
For sure.
So before we get into that, I do want to remind everybody, if you are going to be at Medicarians next week at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas, if you're going to be at Medicarians, please, this is my real phone number. Text it. Let's meet up. I'm making it a personal goal to meet up with everybody who's ever watched an episode of Medicare Cafe. I want to make sure I want to see and meet and hug. If you're not a hugger, maybe don't text me because I am. Just bring it in.
Yourself.
I am a hugger. Would love to meet everybody who's ever watched an episode of the Medicare Cafe. That would make me the happiest. In fact, we are running a promotion that if you take a selfie with me and tag hashtag Medicare Cafe and post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook, whatever the case may be, hashtag Medicare Cafe, a selfie with me, you're going to be entered in to win some Medicare Cafe swag. Ooh. What we're looking at right now is a really nice backpack that is embroidered with the Medicare Cafe logo. So if you want to win that, please make sure, see me, take a selfie with me. I really want to meet. I want to meet everybody.
Cafe swag is exclusive.
Cafe swag is very exclusive.
It's not just for, like, it's not one of these like trade shows everybody gets something.
No.
It's a coveted item.
No, and even in here, I don't even have the mug anymore. And we used to have like the little cups and stuff like that. Yeah. Because Medicare Cafe used to like go and do shows as Medicare Cafe. We really don't do that anymore. We rely on our mama and dad at senior marketing specialists to take on a lot of the trade show stuff. So it is Medicare Cafe. It's hard to come by.
Simi co-hosted with you now for like at least 2 years, maybe 3.
I don't think you're as a semi co-host. I think you're just a co-host.
I like that.
Yeah.
But like I've done that now for like 3 years. I don't have a single piece of swag. I steal a coffee mug out of our break room and I use that. And I'm like, no, I get this one, guys.
Bowl. It's not even a coffee mug. It's a
lot
bowl.
It's an appropriate amount.
It's an appropriate amount of coffee for the cafe.
Yeah.
So would love, again, please come see me.
It'd be so cool.
Be my friend.
Go do it, everybody.
I just want everybody. I'll pack hand sanitizer. So if you're a germ person, I'll give you hand sanitizer after you hug me. I'm clean, but I understand.
I like how you made that. Just hold on.
Like I am clean, but I understand people are scared of germs, and if you're expecting a lot of people to hug me, I'll have a lot of germs, but I will be. Let's start. So, welcome to Medicare Cafe Cross-Selling Symposium. What are we talking about today? We are talking about cancer insurance and how the more so the what is cancer insurance, why do we are so passionate about cancer insurance, and maybe some tips, the how to sell cancer insurance. Now, there's a ton of reasons why we are so incredibly passionate about it. One, it's a great revenue generator for the agents. Two, it is such an important area that needs protected for our consumers. But number three, everybody has a cancer story, whether if it's you yourself or a loved one, a family member, everybody does. And I know, Clayton, you've always been really vocal about like your path of cancer insurance. So, you've been diagnosed twice with cancer insurance. One time you did 2-0. One time you did not have cancer insurance. The second time you did have cancer insurance. So you've personally seen like the changes it makes in your life.
Yeah, that's like kind of my go-to line when I'm trying to summarize it quickly.
Yeah.
Because I have multiple versions of this story that I give.
Yeah.
I have the long, in-depth, I'll tell you everything that you've ever wanted to know about cancer and what happens, especially with cancer insurance.
Yeah.
And now I say, I've gotten to do cancer twice now. It's unfortunate, but I'm 2-0.
Weird way of saying that. I've gotten
the pleasure of having cancer twice.
Yeah.
And I've beat it both times. So there's that. But I also got to do this once with cancer insurance and once without. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out which path was easier on me.
Well, and I don't want to me, Vince Leading, or discuss about it. When you did have cancer insurance, there was even a thing of like, we won't mention companies, but like call us and we'll tell you what companies we recommend. But one company was literally going to deny your claim, even though you had purchased the insurance for a year ago. And because of the experience that you have, we were able to fight it and actually get those claims paid out. So even like in the worst situation, we still have the knowledge to be like, and again, that was crazy that happened. It's not a company that we recommend anymore, but even like we were able to fight against it, and you were able to, you were able to fight against it and be able to get that and get what you expected.
This is one of my obviously one of my strong passions that I have of like this specific type of insurance. And now like, not only can I tell you what it's like to have it, or to not have it, I can say, okay, this is how you file the claim. This is how you appeal a claim. This is how you go to the Department of Insurance to make sure that your claim gets paid out.
Right.
Like every painstaking part of it in the worst case scenario, because like mine was tricky. Like technically I have an incurable form of cancer. So like, did I ever hit remission? And it's like, yes, my Mayo doctor said so. Like, so it's like mine was really specific.
Yeah.
But like, if anyone ever has pushback on a claim,
exactly how to handle it.
Holla.
Well, and that was because we've had tons of agents who are selling it and they have questions about submitting claims. That's one reason why agents like to stay away from ancillary. It's because, well, with Medicare, I don't have to submit the claims. I don't have to get involved with it. Every time your client calls you, you are showing your value. And it's not a difficult process unless you have to go through what Clayton went through. But again, his was a unique situation. Most agents that we're working with who are submitting these claims, especially if you go the lump sum route, we'll get into that a little bit. It is minimal effort, huge impact, and huge ways to get people to give you referrals, huge ways to get people to never leave you whenever you're a part of that process.
Yeah, like I don't want to scare anyone away with my story of having it and going through the things. Like again, mine super weird. But step one that would have been 90% or 99% of everyone's like path that they'd have to go was so easy.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I have to go call my doctor to get them to get me this form again that they've filled out before and know exactly what to do.
Yes.
Like, we've made a bunch of different resources that we have to get, like, here's how you file a claim with these people. This is what you need. And then I could tell you on top of that, the kind of smart things to gather just to send at the same time, because there might be some things not on the form that they ask for.
Right.
I'd be like, just give them all this. I know exactly what to send to them.
We've been the expert.
Yep.
Call us. We've done it, Clayton especially. So let's break it down into...
Break it down now, yo.
What is cancer insurance?
Were you reading that comment? It says Mernin. Because I looked at that a few times before it clicked.
So I thought it said, my eyes aren't what they used to be, and I thought it said Merlin. And I thought they recognized like a wizard.
Yeah.
And it is
Good
Autumn.
morning, wizard.
It is awesome. We are. Yes, indeed.
We have an eclectic crowd.
Oh my gosh, that's putting it nicely. That's better than saying y'all freaking strange.
And we love you for it.
And we love you. Embrace the weird. So let's get into what is cancer insurance. So cancer insurance is not something that is specifically for people who are over the age of 65 or Medicare eligible. We mentioned Clayton has cancer insurance. I have cancer insurance. It is something that is available as families or with the kids, but it's incredibly important for those who are selling it to people over the age of 65 because, as we know, as you get older, your risks of getting cancer go up exponentially. Yeah. So we talk about it a lot. Talking about it a lot. We talk about it. That seemed bad because of basically the impact that it has on seniors. So some things, first questions we get are, does it cover skin cancer? Some of them do, some of them don't. Some do it at a rate. So it's important to know your company because skin cancer is one of the most commonly diagnosed forms of cancer, and not every company covers it, or not every company covers it fully. So great question to ask when you're talking to your growth specialist of, is this one that I need to have? The other question that nobody asks, but I wish they would, is does it cover in situ cancer? In situ cancer is a type of cancer that it is considered a cancer. It does get treated oftentimes with chemotherapy and radiation, but it's not a type of cancer that spreads, at least not spreads at a quick rate. And so a lot of cancer companies or insurance companies will not cover it because it's not the spreading type, even though the treatments are the same. And so making sure that you're asking those two questions when you're talking to your growth specialist about which company you should recommend.
And something I'll add on that is because we're talking about cancer insurance, people not in this industry hear cancer insurance and be like, okay, I just got cancer. Now I need to get cancer insurance. And it don't work like that.
No, it's like trying to get fire insurance when your house is on fire.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't work. They'll say no thank you.
Like that's part of like when we go into like the how you sell this, that we need to keep making sure that message gets out because the people don't understand.
The people don't know. And here's what's crazy. Even though we know the statistics, 1 in 3, and it's usually like 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women, but I think that's now maybe 1 in 3 in both, are saying that like are diagnosed with cancer, nobody thinks it's going to happen to them. Everybody is shocked when they get a cancer diagnosis. And it's like, just no one thinks it's going to happen to them. I was actually working with one of our... It's avoidance.
I go to therapy for it.
Because you avoid it. I don't want to talk about it. And if I don't talk about it, maybe it won't happen.
Won't happen to me.
It's like
Couldn't be me.
Like the kid version of putting the blanket over your head because the monsters can't get you. If you don't talk about cancer insurance, you won't get diagnosed with cancer. We know that is not.
It's like, well, don't say it more. Like, don't Beetlejuice it.
Don't Beetlejuice it. An important differentiation I want to make about cancer insurance is that there are several different types of cancer insurance. There are riders that, like, maybe you get a home health care plan, you add a cancer rider, or hospital indemnity. That's huge. We can get into, do we like it to be a rider or a standalone plan? Maybe we can get into that into the end. As long as they have some sort of coverage, I don't care.
I don't care.
Don't care.
Get the damn
Just
coverage.
Get the damn coverage. The other thing is that there's 2 types. Like I said, there is a pay or a fee for service. Yeah. And then there is a lump sum fee for service. The pros and cons of that is fee for service. There is no limit. As long as you're receiving treatment, as long as you're doing something, you can make a lot more money or gain a lot more money on it. But it's very tedious, a lot more forms. You're doing a lot more tracking. It's a lot more work involved. The other type is much more popular. We are seeing many more companies come out with this type. It's my personal favorite. It is the lump sum. You get the diagnosis, you get the lump sum. It's usually just one form, you get the diagnosis,
and then
you get the money.
Big old check that looks real good when it comes in the mail.
Well, it looks real good.
I cried a lot when I saw my check finally come in.
Talk about that though. Like, is that because of the relief or
Well, yeah, we'd gone through this process for a year now, of fighting and trying to get this money that I knew I should be getting, and I just kept thinking of like all of the costs and things that we were lucky
because you already knew, because this was your second time. You knew the costs that were coming your way.
And like we were lucky enough to get through the year, and like it was a struggle, but like we got through. Everything was fine. Like bills got paid. So like I did well to a bajillion generous people also that I could thank and spend the whole rest of the hour thanking. You know who you are. Love you. And I got through this part and I was like, how did we get through all of this? And then like got that check in the mail and said, wait, this is extra. At this point. This is like, now this is like,
breathing
I got
room.
through. Well, now we can do all the things that we had to put on pause for the year. We got to go like buy a bunch of furniture because we just got a new house. Like, okay, like we got to do these things where all of these kind of life events go on pause a lot of times. When
What
you
a
get cancer.
great point.
Of just stuff, things you want to do, the remodeling your deck, the, you know, paying somebody to do your lawn care. You're like, well, no, I need to go do it myself, I guess. Like all the things that you're spending money on that have to pause or come out of your savings or, so we watched our savings account.
Yeah.
But to have that check come in the mail and it's just one big old check, like mine was $10,000. So I'm not afraid to say it. I'd say get more than that.
Yeah.
And I saw $10,000 on the check and just bawled, just like jumping for joy. Well, not jumping. I can't jump very much anymore.
Right.
That's a whole
Because of the affirmation cancer. Yes.
But like literally got on the phone, called Caitlin, was like, this was like a huge moment of like relief and just the like euphoric okay, because like we all know like money doesn't fix everything, but $10,000 goes a long way to making you have a good day.
Yeah. To say in the least. Well, and it's like you said, like people don't understand when you talk about cancer insurance, when you're talking about it with your clients or the case may be, logic is for the doctors. That's kind of where logic stops. When it comes to your diagnosis and with people, it is like it's a family disease. When you get diagnosed with it, it affects everybody in your circle, and your family. And like when we talk about like one thing I have for the why, we haven't got. Well, I guess we are at the why.
Yeah, we're at the why right now.
We're at the why. So it was like decisions aren't limited to, because logic doesn't have a place here, aren't limited to rules, right?
Yeah.
So like, this is the doctor I have in network. I don't care. We're going to go to this doctor. We're going to go to Mayo. We're going to go to Texas. We're going to go to, to Chicago. Like decisions aren't limited to what the rules about your financial situation say.
Yeah, we said F all that. And let's just, like, I was 20, I keep forgetting how old I was, 27, 28 when I first got diagnosed. It was like, I don't have the money to do these things, but everybody pulled together and it's like, nah, we're going to Mayo. We're going to go spend a week up there and get all the tests redone. So they're not going to all be covered. And it was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You cancer, man. Figure it out.
Well, and a lot of people say like, well, when you're young, you have your whole life. So I'm telling you this. So, my mom went through a really intensive cancer scare. My mom is 60. She'll be 66 this year. She went through a cancer scare. We weren't, at her age and even above that, we weren't saying, well, you're in your 60s. Well, you're going to be in your 70s. Let's just kind of stick to what we know. No, at that point, because it is, again, your family gets involved. Nobody's ready to give up the fight. And so people are willing to do what it takes to fight it. And so when you're having to take finances into consideration about how much care do we want to give somebody in their cancer diagnosis, and even then, even if it is something like, hey, we're not going to treat this, maybe it's an incurable, it's keep them comfortable, which is never the news somebody wants to hear. Yeah. But whenever you have, okay, what are my end-of-life expenses going to look like? What are some things I want to do with my family? What are some things that are going to make me more comfortable? The finances are used for that. So there isn't a case into where, again, logic stops with the doctors. It becomes, what do we need to do in this situation to make the best out of it? And
it's ultimately like you don't get to decide what type of cancer you have.
So
like,
true.
You don't get to know these kind of things. So you prepare for anything. And let's say you come to that decision and you say, I don't want to do treatment. Guess what happens when you have a check and you put it in your bank account? Nobody cares where you spend that money.
Yeah.
Like it's not then tied to, it's like, well, you need to show
if you do the lump sum.
Yeah, if you do lump sum. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
like,
yes. Well, that's the only one we really talk about. It's worth talking about.
Do it. Do lump sum now. Stop what you're doing. So I also want to just kind of point out, like, they don't care. You get to go spend that money wherever. One of my favorite thoughts of like, whenever I get old, like I'm probably going to have cancer again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's more of a when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole other thing. But I think of like, what would I do with all that money if I decided I'm done. I'm done fighting this when I'm 90 years old and said, you know what? Whatever.
97. I'll allow that when you're
Okay,
97. 97. 90, you're still too young. 97.
Well,
right.
At that time,
I don't want to get greedy.
At that time, I'm like, let's just say I'm 8-0.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what? I won the series. I'm good. What can I do for my daughter? What can I do for my son? What can I do for my grandkids? Like, I could say, like, I know I'm going to get cancer again. Like, okay, most people can say a 1 in 3 bet. Look, I do some sports gambling. My odds are way worse than 1 in 3.
Yeah.
You can say you have a 1 in 3 chance to win $20,000.
That's such a good point. You have a 1 in 3 chance to win the lottery. Everyone's taking that chance. You have the 1 in 3 chance of getting cancer. Everybody's like, oh, well, it's 1 in 3.
Yeah.
Like, this was my 2 other friends' problem, not mine. Yeah.
It's also one of my favorite things. Is like whenever I mention the 1 in 3, I just kind of look around back. I got you guys. Don't worry.
Man, I don't know how we can be so cheery and so dark all at the same time.
I don't either. It's been my thing for years now.
What a trauma response.
Yeah.
Aaron, our marketing director, is jumping on here and saying, yes, because of Clayton's story and working, and we, of course, get coverage with our group stuff and SMS. If anybody, we single people out. We say, who here has not bought cancer insurance? And we shame everybody who hasn't bought it. Aaron's one that did purchase cancer insurance and a couple years later did get diagnosed with thyroid cancer and is currently going through that battle and is kicking ass and taking names. So shout out. But again,
I got like chili.
I know. So
Aaron, love you.
It is. It's so impactful, and it is like everybody, and it has to be one of the easiest products to sell. We'll get into the how, because everybody has a cancer story. That probably doesn't feel good on the ears. Sorry. Everybody has.
This is what we do when we're talking cancer insurance.
I can get hype. I get hyped about cancer insurance. A couple other things just to kind of say like statistical or like other things why. Keep in mind, cancer is the #1 cause of medical bankruptcy. Even though it is covered, it is, a lot of insurance companies do cover it. It is the #1 cause of medical bankruptcy. And then also keeping in mind that the majority of costs associated with cancer are non-medical. So you're talking about your travel expenses, your hotel expenses, food expenses. If you're working with somebody who is younger, your lost wages and things like that. So majority, people get really confused because there are medical things that are associated with cancer that is not covered by Medicare. For example, nausea medications, if you're going through chemotherapy or radiation therapy, keep in mind the only type of nausea medication that's covered is an in vitro kind. And so if you're taking pills or things like that, oftentimes those are not going to be covered under your prescription drug plan. They're not required medication because it's not medically necessary to feel good after a chemotherapy session.
Spoiler alert. You're going to want those nausea meds.
You're going to want those nausea meds. For me, again, everybody has a quick story. So my dad actually passed away from cancer back in 2001. So he would have been 47. He had colon cancer. And we lived in a really small farm community, northeast Missouri. So when he was getting diagnosed and going through cancer treatments, he had to go an hour and a half south to Columbia to the cancer center here. That's where he received his treatments. He had to do for like 3 weeks at a time, 5 days a week, and then take a couple weeks off. But when he was doing that, he's not driving back and forth between Columbia and here. So during that time, he was spending days, weeks at a time in a hotel room, we obviously try to get every single income assistance we could because we were farmers. So if he wasn't working, we weren't making money. We had no other source of income at that time. And of course, just like my sister and I would have been 8, my sister would have been 12. So we were still going to school. We still had to have people come and take care of us and deal with us. They were trying to keep our childhood as normal as possible. None of that was going to be. And my dad, and the good thing is my dad did have cancer insurance. Yeah. My mom tells a story about how, and his was a fee for service, right? Because they didn't have lump sums before then.
It was the plan.
So they had somebody and whenever somebody gets diagnosed with cancer, you meet with a financial person, and they're trying to help you. What they normally do is they help you plan out your financial assistance or your payment plans. Before you get your first round of chemo, you have to go meet with this financial planner.
Because they know it's going to be so impactful.
Because they know how expensive it is, and it before your first treatment, you have to go meet with this financial planner. And when my mom gave him the paperwork for all of this, the entire time she had no idea how much it was going to cover. She had no idea she just knew they have this, they're going to deal with it at the hospital. I don't know what it means. And so she tells a story at the end after my dad passed away. They were working with a hospital. She had over $30,000. This is in 2001, so it'd be way more than that now. But she had over $30,000 of hospital debt. 2 young girls. She didn't know what she was going to do. They came to her and said, actually, your insurance company's been so wonderful with us. We're able to get these discounts. You owe us nothing. And that was because of her cancer insurance. Owed nothing to when she was trying to come up with a bill for $30,000 after just losing her husband. So again, just keeping that in mind, even like the medical expenses, there are still holes, they're still out of pockets. Like think about your Medicare Advantage clients. If they get that diagnosis come January, they have to hit that MOOP all over again.
Yeah, cancer's not really good about checking a calendar.
Cancer does not check a calendar.
Jerk.
And I know, it's definitely considerate. So just understanding that, again, number one cause of medical bankruptcy certainly has holes and gaps in coverages when it comes to somebody on a Medicare supplement. The Journal of American Medicine did a study back in 2016. So these numbers are outdated. I don't like to talk about them much, but they did look at somebody who was on a Medicare supplement plan F, and they were still expected to spend $6,000 out of pocket if they get diagnosed with cancer on medical expenses, not the hotels, not anything else, on medical expenses.
That's the part, you were great about finding sources and stats. I'll just say I'll fight you.
I will fight you if you argue with me.
Because I've had this argument a bunch of times. I'm happy to have the debate. Whatever, that's the public forum we need to do, is a debate of somebody saying, well, they're on a med sup, they don't need cancer insurance.
Let me talk. I'll have over 6,000 reasons why you do need it
medically.
And again, not even talking, we aren't even getting into like the chemotherapy and radiation will leave lesions and leave weird marks on your skin if you want to go get those removed, because like I've had people that show up with just like the weirdest looking skin after their radiation and after their you can get that fixed, but it's not medically necessary, so insurance isn't going to cover that. Same thing with like wigs. You can go and find all these different foundations, these organizations that help pay for some of that stuff, or you could use your money and get exactly what you want when you want to help somebody make their lives seem as normal as possible during what has to be one of the most difficult battles anybody could ever face, which is a cancer diagnosis. So keeping that in mind. It is. Let's get into the how. I know I like to keep these short, 30 minutes, but we're not. It's Cancer Insurance Day. We're going to talk about it as long as we want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's get into anything more for the why.
So my big why is it's not just going to be for you, because no matter what decisions you make, they impact everyone around you. So
true.
So when you're talking to somebody about cancer insurance and they say, well, no, I mean, I'll just kind of handle that. Be like, how is what you're going to do, like this plan, how's it going to impact your family? Like, what are we looking at here?
Yes.
It's like your plan, like, well, you have a good amount in savings. Okay, you don't want to help out with your, like, this second round was a lot harder because I had,
your
daughter.
You had a wife.
Yeah.
You had a son on the way.
Yeah, that was like, I have one more chance potentially in the rest of my life to have a kid. I'm going to have another kid. Shout out God for that one of like timing worked out amazingly. But again, I'll keep you guys here for an hour and a half with all my stories. But like my thought process were much more of like, okay, how would this impact my daughter? Of like, if I don't do this treatment or this test to make sure that my cancer is gone or this, how is it going to impact my daughter? And like when people start thinking about their family, not just themselves with that 1 in 3, it's like, well, I have a 1 in 3 chance to radically hurt my family if I don't take care of myself properly with this.
Yeah. As someone, I did lose my dad to cancer, and that was something that was like, it is like, and again, we were so lucky to have that he had cancer insurance and then that he had life insurance, right? But the nothing replaces how it chemically alters your family and how it chemically alters their experience and and how they view the medical, how they view healthcare, how they view end of life care. Like it's a chemical alteration that when someone gets diagnosed with cancer, there is a before and an after, and nothing looks the same after, regardless of what happens, the outcome of that. Even whenever they win, even when you're Clayton and you beat and you're 2-0 with cancer, something is chemically altering like the perception of what is life after that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So every scan, everything that you want to do,
yes,
you think about it, you worry about it, but cancer insurance gives me money that I have now that I don't have to think twice about. Well, should I, like, it's $500, you know, like my insurance covers it well. $500 isn't bad.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I don't do this, then what am I falling into? And like, even if you have a savings, okay, this just put $10,000 extra into your savings because we talk about all these numbers while you have cancer. Guess what? You don't get to just stop going to the doctor.
So
then
true.
It's you're in remission. Okay, now every 3 to 6 months you're going to go see that doctor. You're going to have
for the next 5 years. Yes.
And then if you get it again, guess what? You restart that cycle.
Everything starts right over.
I'm really good friends with a lot of the nurses and stuff there. Like I talk to all, like they get to know. It's one of the weirdest things to say has positively impacted my life, but it's because of changes and conversations like this that I get to have that say like, no, don't do it this way.
Yeah.
Like this, you can do better.
You can do better. There is better. So
that's why cancer insurance, because you can do better than
you can
not having it.
Yes. So this is kind of actually getting into the how. And so one thing that we recommend, like just kind of tips for it, 3 big ones that I have, and I know I have more than that, but the 3 ones that I really focus on is when you're talking about it, don't talk about don't talk about the features, talk about the benefits. It's one thing to say, oh, if you get diagnosed with cancer, you can get $10,000. You can get up to $100,000. You know, you can, and if you get this is covered. This is how you can use it. That's one thing to talk about that. But the features of it is exactly what Clayton's talking about. If you get diagnosed with cancer, do you want to have to pay for everything out of pocket, or would you rather have a company give you money and a company pay for that? Like, do you want to use your savings to overcome cancer and like watch your savings drain? Like, especially for the older clients, like, they have a fixed amount. They have a fixed income that they're getting. And like a lot of them at this time are thinking about their legacy. Like, what do you want to leave behind, right? Do you want to use your savings to help keep you alive, or do you want to have a company pay to keep you alive? And you use that money to take your family to Disney World, to leave, money for your grandkids to go to college. Like, how do you want to use that money?
Man, shout out my grandma. My grandma just recently passed away. She was a legacy planner.
Yes.
She knew what she wanted to do. She got like long-term care insurance. She did all the things to properly plan. And I'd never thought like that's what her process was. Not
it wasn't for her
taking care of herself.
Yes. Yeah.
It was no. I've got a bunch of grandkids. And I'm gonna set them up for success.
Absolutely, 100%. Shout out grandma. So don't talk about features of that plan. Talk about what happens when they own it. Like Dan Mangas started the you can relax knowing. Like if you get diagnosed with cancer, you can relax knowing you have money on the way. That like you're not going to be limited to where you can go. You're not going to be limited to how long you can stay there. You're going to have money on the way. Finances is the last thing you have to worry about. You can relax knowing.
That's the best. That's the best feeling of like, okay, I got diagnosed. Shoot.
Darn it. Yes.
But like, okay. That part's taken care of. Now I just have to get through this.
100%. My number 2 advice is stay away from fear tactics. Now, what we're talking about today, this is scary. This is innately scary. When you get diagnosed with cancer, there's not a whole lot of things that are more terrifying than that. However, when people really lean on the stats, really lean on the fear tactics, keep in mind, fear is a very motivating emotion. It gets people to move. However, it's a very temporary emotion. When you remove the source of fear, then you remove the urgency. So people talk about how cancer insurance is one of the first plans that are canceled, or there's a high turnover rate with cancer insurance. It's because those agents are using fear to sell it. You want to use facts and you want to help them understand the risks. It is not the same thing as manufacturing fear to sell these products. Don't do that. Fear tactics, they work. They are temporary. You will get chargebacks.
Yeah. It's very fleeting. It's something like you're scared of the dark. Okay. You turn the lights on. You're no longer scared of the dark.
Yes.
So when I'm thinking of like exactly that. I'm just like, okay, how do you get around? And like you said, it's a scary topic, but like, a lot of people sell life insurance, and like, what's scarier than death? Like, you're not talking about it.
Some people say public speaking. Just saying.
Okay, yeah, but you know, like, they're not scaring them into like, you're gonna die tomorrow by this life insurance. No, they're just talking about a scary topic. So like, you people that are out there selling life insurance, there's no reason you cannot use those kind of same ideas to talk about cancer insurance.
Yes.
It's scary. Don't scare people.
It's educate about risks, help them determine how comfortable they are with risks, and then help them alleviate those risks.
I think Colby was the one. Colby probably got it from somebody.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Like,
give him the credit; he deserves it.
Colby, like, shout out Colby.
He's also a cancer survivor.
Yep.
Young guy.
Man.
He's 37, 36, cancer survivor.
He said you don't have to have a plan for everything, but you do have to have a plan.
Yeah, you don't have to have an insurance plan.
There you go. Yeah.
But you have to have a plan.
And it's like, just make sure they're comfortable with their plan.
Yes.
I'm okay walking away from this if you have a plan. However, if you don't have a plan, then we need to get an insurance plan to help. That's now our idea.
And the problem is, the reason why people aren't buying cancer insurance is because people aren't talking about cancer insurance. That's the only reason. Like, truly. And if you're having conversations around cost of premium versus benefits, things like that, there is a size that can fit anybody. Like, there, even if it's just $5,000, that's $5,000 more than they didn't have, you know? So the only reason people aren't buying it is because people aren't talking about it. And that's our fault as insurance agents. Yeah. The last thing, I really have two of them more than I want. Don't shop plans, shop benefits. Yeah. So you don't need to have 5 different cancer insurance companies. Pick one, and then work with that company to figure out what plan better fits your client based on their needs, their risks, and based on their budget. So don't go like, oh, well, I have Cigna, Mutual of Omaha, Aflac, GTL. Like, pick one of those carriers and work with our growth specialist. If you're worried about in situ cancer, if you're worried about skin cancer, if you're worried about reoccurrence benefits, there's a million things that can go into a good cancer plan. Our teams are trained to know, based on what you prioritize, what company is going to better suit you. There's not a bad cancer insurance company. No. There's just they just have different bells and whistles. And so we want to make sure you understand that.
It's not like the prices are much different.
No, they're very similar.
They're very similar. You can build a plan to fit for anybody. Like
within the same carrier.
Just grab a carrier, like, even if you like their portal. You tell me I like Mutual of Omaha's portal.
That's a great portal.
Great. You're going to sell Mutual of Omaha Cancer Plan now. Like, okay, let me tell you all the great things about Ben. Yeah. You like Aetna? Cool. Yeah. You like their portal? Let me tell you all the great things. Like,
or I already have a contract with them, and they already include this product. Less paperwork. And I'm telling you, you're going to see a ton more investments in dental, vision, hearing, hospital indemnity, and short-term care and cancer with these supplemental companies. Because these supplemental companies that are large, look at an Aetna, they're struggling in the MedSet market right now because of the financial pressures on Medicare. So they're all investing in these ancillary products because they're necessary. They can make good money. They can help you as an agent make great money, and they're necessary to completing coverage. My last piece of advice, because we're 10 minutes over, get the plan yourself. If you get cancer insurance, I don't care if you're on an ACA plan, if you're on a group in coverage, if you're on off-market plan. I don't care what you're insuring. I don't care if you're self-insuring. Live your life, my king and queen. Get cancer insurance, because if you are willing to talk about it with somebody else and you think that they need to have it, again, cancer does not discriminate. So one, I want you to protect yourself, because I find that insurance agents are the least insured people. So one, protect yourself. And two, it's a lot easier to talk about it and sell it and be passionate about it when you're a customer yourself.
Yeah. Stacy, you have an amazing question. Olivia, can you answer this right away? Because I'll ramble about it.
Okay. What is your recommendation?
Short answers.
Not once have I ever been accused of
better than
talking.
me.
Well, in this case, yes. What is your recommendation?
On the table.
I know, regarding going back into a book of business to prospect your own clients on cancer. I could go on and on and on and on.
Short.
I think 3 things I would do. 1, start using your book of business and send out postcards, mailers, introduce, like in a very soft way, introduce your book of business to let them know that you sell this product. Could be your newsletter, it could be a postcard, it could be an email, whatever the case may be. Just do a soft, hey, just letting you know this is something I offer. You will get responses on it, especially mail, physical mail, I think does really well in this case. But have it with your logo, have it with your stuff. We have ant pieces for this. We have go to our ACE page. I have so much.
No, 2.
Okay, no, it's number 2.
I'll keep you.
Okay. Number 2, just making sure, like when you're doing your educational pieces, maybe you're talking about Facebook or you're doing like top 10 things Medicare doesn't cover, include cancer like in your pitches. When you're doing your annual review with people, talk about cancer, make sure that cancer is in the fact-finding portion of it, make sure it's in your presentations, make sure it's in your webinars, make sure it's in your social media content, just as a, by the way, as a very natural to talk about how cancer is impacting Medicare, health, and cancer is impacting financial things. Third and final, one thing that I love that a lot of agents are doing is that they are doing like these call campaigns, or when they're doing their annual meetings with their clients, is they're doing them now and saying, hey, by the way, especially like as a follow-up to your Medicare Advantage clients, I don't care how long of a client they've been with you, but for Medicare Advantage is a really easy out. It's saying, for Medicare Advantage is saying, hey, you signed that scope of appointment, just letting you know I'm circling back with all those clients because I'm not able to talk about everything because you signed that government form. It's silly, but I'm not able to talk about everything that a person has risk to. So let's get another appointment so I can talk to you about these other areas. Or my favorite for anybody is calling, hey, I've been getting a lot of questions about this. So it's like a call campaign to try to set up appointments with your clients. Hey, I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how cancer is being covered by Medicare, and I'm just making sure my clients are fully educated about cancer. Would you have time for an appointment? Would you have time to come in? Would you have time for a phone call? With love, I'm seeing this happen a lot right now. A lot of my clients are asking this. I want to make sure you fully understand what your risks are with cancer. And so those are a way to say, like, I did have an agent one time say, hey, I dropped the ball. I should have talked to you about this sooner. I'm sorry. That got them a lot of points. That makes me nervous because I don't want to ever show that like
play with a certain type of agent.
It can play with a certain type of agent. But so I just saying like something has happened, so I'm revisiting my clients. Yeah. I'm getting a lot of questions about this. I wasn't able to talk about in the scope of appointment. One of my clients was recently diagnosed with cancer and they weren't fully aware of what happened.
We've seen good success with like if you've had to go through it, like tell them the benefits that happened because you had this plan.
100%.
You did that in like 4 minutes. That was
I know,
good.
and I could have done it for an hour. If you are an agent with senior marketing specialist, go to smsteam.net, scroll down, look at our CARE initiative. It stands for Cancer Insurance Awareness, Resources, and Education. We built an entire program around CARE. It has a ton of resources in there. I don't have time to go into it, for the love of God. Alex, did you get on camera and show?
And I've got 30
Our
seconds.
producer, Alex! Our CARE initiative. Thank you, Alex. That was beautiful.
If you have a client that got diagnosed with cancer and didn't have cancer insurance, you don't have to say, no, I can't help you with anything. Go to that CARE page. I've put a ton of resources together of things that you can help somebody with financially, service-wise, wigs, all the different things to help people that have a cancer diagnosis receive some extra care.
Thank you. I could talk about this for 5 more hours.
My favorite thing
Isn't
that I've
it
ever
so-
done was working with the CARE stuff to flood it with the hearts.
And here's the thing, the sad part, guys, I'll bring it back. We sponsored a golf tournament in the name of CARE, and it was so cool. We actually brought in cancer survivors, including Clayton, my mom as a caregiver to somebody who did not survive cancer. We had a couple other cancer survivors there that talked about their path and like what they did do with cancer insurance or because they didn't have cancer insurance. It was really cool, and I wanted to do more of that. And Gio was there to kind of give us tips and tricks about how to talk about. Of course, if you don't know Gio, you should. He is our agent trainer. Does incredible. He does boot camps and personal one-on-one training when it comes to how to sell more of these necessary products. Anyways, all that to be said, I would love to bring that back and do another golf tournament. The unfortunate part of that was that we did not sell one additional cancer insurance in the 12 months following that golf tournament. So it did not prove to be effective, but I would love to try again. But you have to promise me you'll write cancer insurance.
Write some cancer insurance, then I'll go argue with Olivia of why we need to do it again.
Yeah, Terry brings up a great point. I love Terry. I can't sell over 65 here in California. Had a guy turn down coverage because he didn't want lump sum. Has cash. So what can I say to that?
I was actually Michelle. Five years. 5 years is the shortest.
5 years is the shortest. Yes.
10 years with Mutual of Omaha, and they cheaper because of it.
Yeah, so 5-year look back. So one thing for again, like I said, for especially cancer people in California, get them, market about it, get them before they turn like in their 55 to 60, because then when they turn 65, you'll just take them as a Medicare client. So this is a great lead generation for your Medicare business, is to sell cancer insurance, even though nobody thinks they're going to get diagnosed with cancer. Still a good lead-in product.
Way more affordable.
Way more affordable. When somebody says that I have money to cover cancer insurance, or to cover if I get diagnosed with cancer, I'm just going to pay for it out of pocket. That's when I throw them, okay, so do you want to spend your money for treatment, or would you rather spend the company's money for treatment? Wouldn't you rather spend the money doing things that you want to do? You worked really hard to save that money. You worked really hard. I'm sure you weren't considering spending and giving the medical industry all of your money
when you were saving up.
When you were saving up this money and working towards retirement and building, like, I'm sure that's not what you had in mind. Wouldn't you rather use Mutual of Omaha's money, Cigna's money, Aetna's money, GTL's money? Wouldn't you rather use their money to help pay for you to get better, so you can actually use the money the way that you intended?
Thanks for going long on this one.
I had to.
This one means a lot to us.
Yeah. Everybody has a cancer story. It's really when you're fact finding with your clients, when you're asking them about cancer insurance, you want to ask them, like, tell me somebody, like, someone you know, like, tell me about your experience with cancer. And people are so willing to talk about their experience, and it helps them invoke emotion. It helps them make it real, and it helps them like really understand the risks of what happens if they get cancer insurance or get cancer. I don't know how to come back from this. It's really hot in the studio. It's a hot day here in Missouri, and it's warm in here.
Sell cancer insurance. You'll make me a happy man.
Make Clayton a happy man.
Don't make me a sad boy.
Don't make him a sad boy. Make Clayton a happy man, not a sad boy. Guys, thank you so much for today. Arnie, I haven't seen your name in a while. Thanks, Arnie, for tuning in. If you're going to Medicarians, be my friend. I'll take a selfie with you. Again, Medicarians, next week we're going to be doing a live Medicare Cafe. Ben's going to be in studio. I'm going to be on the road, on site, doing Medicare Cafe. So join us next Tuesday at 10 a.m. to give kind of like where are we at. By that point, I've been in Vegas it'll be my 3rd day in Vegas, which I hate Vegas, to be clear. I am not a Vegas girly, so we can all sympathize with me. Come be my friend, take my picture. That sounded weird. Take my picture with you also in my picture.
With it.
Take my picture with you also in the picture with me. I would love to see it. Guys, until next time, have fun.
Make money.
And give impeccable service. Thanks, y'all.
Cancer insurance.
Cancer insurance.
Bye.